leveraging means how best the agricultural fraternity can use this information, or there is too much of information is the second paradigm. The third thing can be, it can be a nonsense information and people are not able to make use of it. The third thing is the entire social media is filled with good morning and the rose flowers and the various god photographs and so on and so forth. So today I will be taking some of these issues and see what is that the farming community wants for their prosperity. Prosperity here, I don't mean to say that it is just about 300 million metric tons of production alone in agriculture and around 333 million metric tons in horticulture production. But the incomes have to rise. The prosperity is the standards of living. See, standard of living itself is defined from three indicators. The HDI, the Human Development Index, where the income, the education and health. If somebody does not have all these three, each contributes to 33%, that means you don't have any human development values. You don't have the Human Development Index. So what to do with all your big money, flats and lot of affluence? For what? For whom? So when these questions are going to be answered, and we'll quickly go, and all my contact details Rajini ma'am is going to share to you. See now, today if you talk about any value chain of how the farmers are operating today, gone are those days where farmers were looked at an individual identity. But today Dr. Modi ji and then all our government of India schemes which has come with the CBBO approach. That means it is a cluster based business organization approach, and then we have to conglomerate all the farmers into a farming producer organization, a company by the Companies Act. And then the WODOP also has come in a very big way, one district, one product. And then what are the different needs of these farmers in the various clusters, how the extension system or the agriinformation.com or anybody who is in the service area of agri information, how is that they are going to cater this information, deliver this information, pack this information, and how are they going to stream it? Is it they are only a singular sort of efforts, or it is just a stray efforts to just show that we are in the information business? So the second paradigm is, see, the production, credit, input and output aggregation. This is what a farmer wants. So he wants to get an input, we call it as input factorization. So he wishes to get a big bargain price for his input, and obviously the output aggregation in terms of branding, packing and transporting. And obviously we have various apps like Kisan Rath and all that, which is taking care of this transporting. But how exactly are they using? Whether a farmer is able to access these services? We have thousands and hundreds of apps. Even in IHR, I have developed an app called as Arka Vyapar. So where we are trying to bring the buyers and the sellers together. See, suppose a buyer can also be a seller can also be a buyer. So we were fixing the bugs yesterday, and then we had some hiccups in how that data goes into the database. It's a MySQL database, or it can be on a Firebase. It goes to the Google server, and then it recognizes you that you are a buyer, or if you are a seller with the same mobile number. That is, it's not able to do it. It is recognizing, suppose a buyer is different, a seller is different, and the ICT is not able to give him an end-to-end solution. See, because in many times it is a matrix sort of addition. A buyer can be a seller can be a buyer, and he can be even an information provider. So there are multiple roles of a farmer and a cluster-based business organizations. So therefore we say that the third aspect, the integration of ICT, has to give an end-to-end solution. See how many times you are going to authenticate. See, today you see an umpteen number of apps. Okay, this is our mobile app. It's available on the Google Play Store. See, I will tell you how the authentication takes place. You want to buy a shirt, you want to buy a service. There are two options. Either you log in and register, or you register with every time with new credentials, or it simply says log in with Google. So that means why they ask you to log in with Google, it's a single point authentication, where an ICT takes care of the entire. Once when Google has allotted your credentials, your mobile number, your residential address and so on, the further authentication it takes, it's valid. So it says he's a genuine customer. And then all the information, whether he requires a marketing information, he requires a production information or a post-production information, a value-added service information, or all the information in the entire value chain with a single one-point authentication, you should be able to do it. That's what we are also trying in this app, but still we have been fixing those bugs. We'll go ahead. So the conceptual framework here is the productivity, profitability and resilience. This is what the farmer wants and information. See, today you have got so many apps which tell you how to produce, what is the spacing in bajra, it is 1.5 feet by 15 centimeters between the plant. All that information is there, but where is the market information? Where to put it? Who is your aggregator? Where is the value chain? Such information is not available on a single stop. Then the enhanced production is already taken. See, you have got so many apps which is going to give you the lat-long information, all those things. But the trade and market information, who is the supplier, how to get it certified. See, if my neighboring farmer is getting 10 rupees for his cucumbers and I am getting only 8 rupees, why the 2 rupees? Because of lack of information or because I cannot access the information from a single point authentication, I lose the 2 rupees. So I am again put on the crossroads, and this sort of dilemma everybody is going to have. So enhance access to financial services. See, you see all the microfinance or the banking, you must have seen. I am not making a very general carpet recommendation at this stage. It's only a few affluent farmers who knock away all the facilities. So, and even the people who sit on the roads are a few affluent farmers, but the real person is still taking loans from the microfinance, hand loans, and then chit funds and so on. So, and also the enabling environment to use the ICT for the leveraging to our own business is really lacking. So here we say that ICTs may claim that it is really scale neutral. Even a marginal farmer can get benefit as much as a big farmer. So, but it's not the true issue. It is not that the mobile phone is a limitation, but the information available to authenticate. See, when a big farmer is authenticated with Google credentials, why a marginal farmer is left out? And the number of documents one has to give, right from the Aadhaar card to the voter ID to get a small loan. Oh my God, it is really tremendous. I think yeah. So when I say ICT leveraging, the information so-called, see, forget this WhatsApp, social media, Twitter. If some cinema star has given birth to a baby boy, there's a lot of hue and cry and hangama, and then a lot of information is available. So you have even very personal information of Jennifer Lopez available on the media. But where is the information? How an FPO can make business sense? Where do I do collective farming? Where do I get more remuneration for my labor? So how to add value? Okay, a simple handling storage. See, suppose a small ethyl treatment in mango can, it can enhance your shelf life and better maturity index. So then where are the loans available? So all the production technology is fine, but can I hook up with a big brand for credibility and recognition? And can all these small aggregators also go into Pepsi and then Kisan and with big people can't we do? See, today if I want a housing loan of 50 lakhs, the bankers were at my doorstep. But today the banking has not really gone to the doorstep with the farmers, in spite of all the SBI Yono app and all that. And most of the things that they ask you that you are a salaried man, and unfortunately farmer is a Kharif, Rabi, summer oriented, and the income is not regular, whereas the income is seasonal. Then finally, where are the warehouses? I need this information. Where are the warehouses and what do they charge per SFT, square feet, the Gramin Bhandaran Yojana, and then whether my farmer producer organizations are linking the farmers to the value chain. Unfortunately, this is not. The aggregation is there, the 333 million tons are there, okay, it's all affluent. But definitely, when you say growth and development, there is lot of growth in India, but the development is not there. Development means the equitable distribution of income for the real person. We say that a farmer should get at least 70 paise of 1 rupee in the consumer share of the rupee. That is not happening with the ICT leverage and the so-called mobile applications and social media leveraging. is only that, if a person is walking on the road, he has no sense. He's either talking on the phone. Whenever I drive my car, I have very difficult thing, because half the fellows and half the girls and boys in the road are on the mobile phone. They have no sense of the road at all. And how many people can I scold? So slowly I slow down my vehicle and I surpass them. Earlier days I used to scold them, and nowadays I stopped doing it. Because let them use the ICT leverage, and if they are getting some happiness by continuously being on the mobile, let them do it. But a farmer does not have that luxury of time to sit on the WhatsApp for all the 24 hours. And then, at least minimum, the average is about 10 hours of, social media engagement which is taking place. That's what the research says. So, umpteen number of apps are there. But today the leveraging has to take place in terms of getting credit. So, very quickly a farmer has to get credit. It is not that only salaried people like me who get about 3.5 lakhs, you come and give a loan. But a farmer who is very good in repayment, what are his marketing channels? What are his credit opportunities? Can you give him giving a Kisan credit card and blocking him with a OTP and not allowing him to go is not the question. Can you do this door delivery of the loan? See, which is done for the urban consumers. HDFC Bank will be pouncing on you. If you are a big shot, that is the end of it. See, today our shirts are delivered online, our credit is delivered online, our infrastructure and all the servicing is done online. I rarely go out to search for some food or anything, except, the food is also delivered online through Swiggy and Zomato, and all that I have to do is only eat it. So much of convenience has been delivered to the so-called the social media customer. And then, but in the rural areas, the capacity building. See, obviously, most of the apps are only in English, and the regional language is definitely missing, and the procurement and inputs. See, it is not a single-click solution. Let me tell you, gentlemen. See, most of the apps, only, if you take a SBI app, or if you take a Make My Trip app, or if you take some app which is totally customized, we say it's an end-to-end app. End-to-end app means right from searching for a shirt in Augsburg or up to the payment gateway, and then it generates a receipt, and then the delivery agent's mobile number also flashes on the screen. But such a service is very unfortunately not available to the farmers, and therefore many of the production technologies and the research and the ICT, especially the ICR, has given me a project to find out what are the determinants, whether ICT has contributed for the success factors of the farmer producer organizations. Are they really able to augment the income, or simply it is a slogan and there is no one-click service? I'll go ahead and tell you. 1 minute. Yeah. See, in all the farmer producer organization, there is an agri-business promotion unit. See, today what is the selling? A mango grower simply hedges the mangoes in the month of February when the flowering is there, and he says he takes the rate per tree, and some very small amount is given. Let me tell you, the Kesar Alfonso is sold for 300 rupees a kilo in Bangalore, but I went to the production places and the FPOs very nearby at Koppal, about 300 kilometers from me here, where the Kesar Alfonso is grown. Oh my God, he gets only 80 rupees. So where did the other 220 rupees go? The leveraging means, see, if the farmer has produced, and obviously the middleman has only aggregated these things, I feel that they can take their share. We have not object to that. Every Reliance or every big basket or small basket, because in the name of aggregators, they have a multi-chain cold storage, and they have extremely beautiful apps where they can super daily and they deliver it to you in the morning before 7:30. They are pocketing this money. I am not speaking like a socialist or a rationalist, but the apathy and the pain which we are all undergoing, especially from the farming community, I feel that the justice is not done, and the ICT has become a great software hub in Bangalore or Calcutta or something, where things are so complicated. Nothing is a one-click solution. Okay, so therefore, when we go ahead, the ICT scoping or the leveraging of the social media is, we have hybrid models. Once when the farmer is identified and you map his crop, and with a single survey number or an Aadhaar number, that's what we have been trying in the app I have developed. and the farmer crop level data, the market intelligence information should flash on a screen. Suppose I am growing bendi and then there is supposed to be a glut. This is what market intelligence tell me. So it should say that you stagger your harvest, because once when the bendi crop is sown, it's only there's a right time to harvest. When it is tender only, it has market value. So if the market intelligence tells me before sowing, I can adjust my crop scheduling, especially when I talk about crop zoning and crop scheduling, ODOP, one district, one product, and I have to definitely link with the market, and this is where the social media has to play a role. Simply by bullshitting and then giving birthday messages after messages and showing the candle and the rose flowers, you are not really addressing the farmer's problem. So today we have a lot of apps based solutions for input and output marketing. I told you Arka Vyapar is one. Then we have Yono Krishi, we have Seed Portal. And if the so-called social media does not give economic benefit to the farmers, then definitely, gentlemen, any researcher who runs a regression equation will tell that the so-called social media scoping has failed. Okay, it is only for big people. See, for example, sitting in a city, if you have a own house and if you have some 2-3 mobile apps and a limited money, even if 50,000 is more than enough. And for a guy like me, by sitting simply, if you are able to do NEFT transfer, you get everything door delivered. Everything door delivered. You don't even need to cook. You don't even need to marry. You don't even need to have a child. All services, including my blood sample, people come home. But have you seen anybody taking a blood sample, going to the farmer's house and distributing the fertilizer and seeds? Unfortunate. So never be born as a farmer. And if at all you are born, you should be born as a software engineer with a lot of cash, and that too in your NEFT transactions, UPI transactions, you name it, you have it. Everybody are in cities only. All these value-added services, the so-called social media services for leveraging, is unfortunately highly city biased. So the value addition, grading, sorting, and even the referral labs which are going to assay and say that whether the honey is genuine or not, the farmers receive an increased price, but it is not confined to procurement undertaken by the government. So therefore the minimum support price and how the agitation, you already know. I am not supporting XYZ. Even the tenant farmers, if they don't have, they don't have their land records, they cannot get any loan and they cannot get any survey, because everywhere it is Google authentication, one-click things. So then transparent and convenient procurement of produce. So why the produce is not lifted from the farmer's field? This is the question I am asking. Do you mean to say we don't have the GPS or the GIS data to say that which farmer with what survey number and one Aadhaar number, when his harvest is going to come and what thing we have to do? I have told you about the 70. Unfortunately, it is not there. Every time you make the farmer run from pillar to post, even the small PMFBY, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, only 60 rupees they have to pay, man. They have to pay 60 rupees per acre. And even this, there are not many apps which can do a Fasal Bima Yojana by a single click. But suppose you want to take an insurance for a vehicle, oh my God, even they already, I had to renew my car insurance next month. Already messages are coming. Sir, kindly renew your insurance. I am from Digit Insurance. I am from X Insurance. Why are you so urban biased? Very, very unfortunate. Then provide them payment receipt. See, today when you pay a property tax, okay, even your PDF file and the receipt is generated. But whether it is generated for a farmer, they will ask you 100 questions. When was your last harvest? What sort of insects came? Where is your Aadhaar card? So, simply making him run from pillar to post, and the e-dissemination of package of practice is somewhat better. Okay, these soft services are there, and a lot of weather forecasts, and then disaster monitoring center is giving it, and lot of the Kisan call center, which is actually run by the IFCO. Okay, they have been giving technical information on production part. Then even the soil health cards and the plant health cards, there is nobody to interpret the card. Suppose, if you take a blood sample, the Vijaya Diagnostics or the multi-speciality hospital, they will send you a WhatsApp message. Madam, your BP is very high. Please control. Do yoga. Do exercises. Oh my God, even my father and my wife never told me this. Such is the service in the urban areas. Fantastic. So therefore I tell all my friends, never do BSc agriculture like me and become a scientist. And see the apathy of the farmers. If at all you are born, you should be born as a software engineer, do an engineering graduate, join Google or some Mindtree, and then you enjoy your life. So don't come to the 640,000 villages, and all technologies are there. India is definitely Swavalamban Bharat, but unfortunately these services are missing for the farmers in terms of converting and leveraging the social media and converting it in their income. So friends, I told you how the in the agri input and market linkages we tried with some of the FPOs, and I tell you very lot of total factor productivity, lot of things are there, but somebody has to take it. The SFAC, the Small Farmer Agri Consortium, have tried to rejuvenate the FPOs with the agri business planning units, and they have pumped in some funds, and then they have tried to diversify their activities, give market linkages, credit support, infrastructural support, and handholding support and training, and definitely the cost benefit or for every rupee invested, it is showing tremendous results. But only we want enthusiasts. There are so many startups in Bangalore. So now recently I concluded a course, and one more course is coming on the 28th of this month, startup culture in FPOs in horticulture. So we want more and more entrepreneurs to come, with a hybrid business model where they also will survive and also service. But unfortunately the entire agriculture sector, farmer sector, whether it's a mobile app or something, everybody has to shell down money. Nothing is a free service. So because the software engineers or this particular group which is developing this WhatsApp media, even WhatsApp, do you think you have given free? But he gets a lot of hits and a lot of advertisement. A lot of big money is there. If money is not there, nobody is going to develop software. Even we had to shell down about 6 lakhs to develop this Arka Vyapar, although we ourselves know coding and all that. But not many enthusiasts coming into this agri sector, horticulture sector to help them out with this social media tools. All the things they do is just in a WhatsApp, they make a group, and they've been sharing videos and then voice messages, and then today at least some relief has been given, but definitely I can say, taking the technologies and the end-to-end solution to the farmer. Of course, the Punjab government have tried it via social media, and even Karnataka is not bad. We are the IT hub here. I think there are 6 more minutes. I'll very quickly conclude. Very quickly, I'll show you these some of the ICT tools. Of course, I don't want to make a statement. It's highly urban biased. We are going to leverage them, and you see the traditional extension and today's extension. So definitely the mobile owning is not a limitation. Do you mean to say farmers cannot shell down about 6,000 to 7,000 rupees? Come on here. Don't think only urban areas have that. They can give money, but unfortunately, his dress and his geographical isolation has made him a villager. So he cannot get these IT services. Suppose they suddenly become a software engineer in Whitefield, and anybody will give you rent, and with all that English and the earphones on your ears, people will come to you, give you a loan, and they think you are all high-fi, those who talk English and have all these things. But a farmer, with that dilapidated dress, and he has a lot of money, don't underestimate him. After all, buying a 6,000 to 8,000 phone is not a big issue. But the only limitation is, unfortunately or fortunately, not many mobile apps or not many applications are developed exclusively for him. This is the apathy part, and here and there, of course, ICR, we have developed so many apps because we are all earning our salaries by the farmers. But I want that the private sector, the Mindtree, Google, and especially all these big fat guns, TCS, Wipro, they have to venture into this, and also as a CSR you do it. See, nobody is begging for your IT services. You take a very big client in Ohio, you take a big client in Los Angeles, and everybody wants to go there. Please go, no problem. You have brought us a lot of foreign exchange and all that. I am not against. See, my talk may appear that as if I am very against these people. No, we want your services. We want your value-added services. Kindly give it to us also. Of course, you want money, we are ready to give you money. But you please come out with a business model, maybe per click, or you generate your funds by advertisement, and see that you link the urban and the rural media and the social media and then leverage them to get their money. See, today, because I do online shopping, lot of my petrol and my time, everything is saved. By sitting, I am able to do multiple activities. Okay, maybe I will, my brain may not function after some time by doing excess mobile hitting and all that. And today we have almost become mad, and we don't have that luxury. We don't want that luxury also. See, today half an hour, if I am not having my mobile, I'm become like a drug addict. Without half an hour and seeing all the updates in Telegram and WhatsApp, I cannot live at all. I don't want any food or anything. I want my social media to be intact. So that was the digital and the traditional marketing. So kindly come into I have got under 3 minutes, I'll be concluding. Kindly come and venture into the rural areas also. Don't think our farmers will not pay, they will pay you. Kindly don't think only Whitefield and Mindtree people sitting in Cincinnati or in Los Angeles are going to do the service. My dear gentlemen, India is a robust country. We are highly diversified. We have high tenacity. We have high resilience. And if you venture into these sort of rural apps and agriculture-oriented apps, we can convert the 333 million tons in horticulture and 300 million tons in horticulture can also be converted into incomes and affluence and standard of living for our rural people. So thank you very much. It was a great opportunity. I'm going to stop sharing and you can ask questions.
Thank you, sir, for the detailed presentation. Now I'll take up some questions.
Can you be a bit louder? I'm not able to hear.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Okay. So the first question is, how easy is for a farmer to use your app?
Yeah, pardon me, please tell again.
If I understand correctly, you have developed a application for the farmers, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How easy is this for a farmer to use?
Fine. Yeah, very good question. In fact, I do have screenshots. I can show you later. The app is called Arka Vyapar and then it is available on Google Play Store. Point number 1. Point number 2 is, we don't make any claims or anything about the transactions which occur between a buyer and a seller. Just like Ola and Uber, the buyer screen is going to pop out and obviously the registration is by a single click. You have to only feed your Aadhaar number and the mobile number, and based on these two things it authenticates and says that you are a genuine buyer or a seller, because we don't want fake buyers and sellers to come in the app. Third point is, once when the farmer clicks it, suppose I am looking for raspberry mangoes. I am looking for 10 tons of raspberry mango and I am a mango processor. So I will say wanted raspberry mango and I am going to feed a text part of it. Immediately it is going to the database at the back end. It will fetch the various sellers available from 0 to 50 kilometers. That is the first preference. Then later on 50 to 100. Just like your Ola and Uber, the nearest taxi is going to service you. So it says that Mr. Satish, driver of that Ola or Uber car number so-and-so, he will reach you in 5 minutes. Like that, a similar text message is given in the local language. It says there is a buyer at 25 kilometer radius near Chikkabanavara and who can supply you the 10 tons of raspberry. So immediately his entire address and mobile number is also flashed and he can always pick it up and contact him, and then the further transaction the ICR did not take the responsibility, because tomorrow if a fraud buyer or a fraud seller comes, of course we have put lot of filters and then lot of if but statements on the back end so that such a fraud should not occur and ICR IHR should not get a bad name. So we never took that responsibility, and the entire transactional responsibility is that of a farmer. A simple interface, buyer, seller, how much you want, what is the price you offer. Okay, transaction can occur. It's like a matrimonial site. It is as simple as that. I can show you screenshots in my next lecture. Just like a Ola and Uber. See, many times, even in Ola and Uber, suppose this the seller or the service provider, the Ola fellow, he is not interested to come to your remote place. That fellow cancels and then he will put that 50 rupees or a charge on you. And even the consumer can also play this sort of fraud. So suddenly his father or somebody has come and they take away, go in their personal vehicle and cancel the Ola Uber. So anyway, all these control statements, we have been writing the if else statements at the back end, developed on Android Studio, available on Google Play Store. Right now, we are fixing the bugs for it. So my only answer what you are asking is, why the private players are not venturing into such problems which are already existing in our agriculture and horticulture rural domain. Because maybe there's not big money in this. So they feel that servicing for Mindtree or Google in United States is more relevant for them, because they can take that Chicago flight in the midnight and make money and a good house at Bangalore. So if you go to the rural area customers, it's only service, and your standard of living is not going to increase. Is it like that? Thank you.
Okay. So, how do you decide the buyer or the seller is a genuine person?
1 minute, I am not able to hear.
Okay.
Just speak. Yeah. I increased the volume. Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. How do you decide whether a farmer is, whether the buyer or the seller is a genuine person?
Acha, how do you identify whether a buyer or seller is genuine? Okay, fine. See, now when you go into the app, I'm just telling you, first of all, you will feed your Gmail or your Aadhaar card. We don't even ask your name. We'll simply say feed your Aadhaar card. We have got a tie-up, because we are Central Government of India, we have got a tie-up with UIDI. Immediately, their Aadhaar details are flashed. It comes into our database, and immediately his mobile number is fed. That is the next entry. And immediately when these two are there, they obviously like a KYC details. We have all the details. We have all your Kundli with us. So immediately we'll say, so-and-so Mr. Ramappa is from Ramnagar, and then he has so many acres. And this sort of data also we have tried to take from Hopcoms and other things. So at the back end, we have linked about 4 to 5 databases which will do the searching job, and it will say that this guy is an authentic guy. And even in the Firebase at Google, Google Firebase, I think you might have worked on that. Unlike the MySQL server where we have to install a server, in the Firebase server, just with Google credentials, okay, it will authenticate. Okay, unless you give your Google ID and all that, and your mobile and Aadhaar, these 3 are enough to identify you. You are a fraud or anything, immediately it will tell us. And we have also put a disclaimer that any fraudulent transaction, and of course we have not built a payment gateway at all. We could have done it. Payment gateway was only 5-minute job. It's a simple code. But we never did it. We only bring the buyers and sellers on a single platform, and any fraudulent transaction occurring, we are not responsible. So like that we have started the app, and maybe at a later date we are going to upscale it and we are going to license it to someone. For example, the TCS has developed the SBI Yono app. The entire State Bank of India app runs on the TCS architecture and framework. So, of course, TCS is not responsible for the fraudulent things. State Bank of India only is responsible if any fraud occurs. So, all those if control statements we have tried to take care and try to make the things robust. But again, my question remains, why many players are not venturing into this domain? Thank you.
Okay. And currently, how many farmers have registered on this app?
Already, we have already got more than 1,600 farmers who have registered for the app, and every day they keep trying. If some problem is there in their authentication, it never registers. So we don't want too many people there. See, we are not for numbers. We are here for genuineness. As an ICR, Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, we want only genuine buyers and sellers. We don't want this National Herald case and all these fraudulent fellows. I can get thousands and millions. I have seen that the code is written in such a way, if you are genuine and authentic only, you can do it. Otherwise, it will become a Hawala transaction if we allow everybody. So right now, I have 1,625 people registered, and slowly we are doing, and in a later stage, we will also eliminate the fellows who are just freak and fake sort of things. So we will also put a minimum business value, and we are also going to charge per click. But right now it's in the pilot stage. We have allowed everyone. That's it.
Okay. Okay. And next question is, what are the services provided by this app?
The services are, you will come to know when, suppose you want mangoes in the month of August. So you will know the date of harvesting, you will know your buyer, you will know your seller, you know where your produce is located, in which geographical location, and it will authenticate through the GPS, and it will also tell you what is the transportation charge normally charged, because we have linked it up even with the Kisan Rath app, and then what transportation charge can come, so that we guide you to calculate the marketing cost. Suppose you want to send your tomatoes from Bangalore to Calcutta, because obviously it has to go via Chennai. So then the volatility of Chennai market affects the Calcutta market tomatoes also. So therefore, keeping all such relationships and transgressions in mind, so we have worked out, and then it will help a farmer to take a decision. Minimum, he need not calculate and know all the regression equation. So we will immediately the moment he says, sir, I am having tomatoes, how much I will get in Calcutta market, how much I will get in this market, then immediately it says this much is your packing cost, this is your marketing cost between Calcutta and here. If you are able to do it, kindly click yes. So it is going to be a decision support system and not a decision taking system, because it will take a decision on your behalf, because we have purposefully not put the payment gateway. I told you, the moment you put payment gateway, we get into all the troubles, all fraudulent transactions. Then we have to keep, because we are only scientists, we don't want that payment gateway business. Thank you.
Okay. So how do they make the payments? Like they directly?
Yeah, directly. See, it is just it is just like a matrimonial column. Once the boy and girl are selected, the marriage and all other things, it is their responsibility. It is not the responsibility of the interface person or the broker or whoever have got you on the interface. Yeah.
Okay. So next question is, what is the farmer's response to this application?
The response is tremendous, but I am telling you as a scientist and as a developer of this app, you want me to tell the truth or should I tell lies? The truth is, farmers are asking us to take the responsibility of the transactions like e-NAM, and then the payment also comes to him, and do hand holding at that level. So right now we have not decided that, and I as a principal investigator, I am against this philosophy that why should I take the responsibility? I am only a marriage broker. I will only bring you together, and otherwise I will have to stop my research and do only this Arka Vyapar job. Every day I will get queries, sir, my payment is delayed. See, I have taken this, I have taken a project with IFCO where I am doing this fortified iron bajra production. Every day I get phone. See, I went to help the farmers. Every day they say, sir, when will you release the payment? Okay, when will our money come? See, it is quite natural. We should not, we as researchers should develop prototypes and hand it over to some Google or some TCS or Mindtree or somebody to take up. Research institute should not take that responsibility. This is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay. And do you provide any consultancy service?
Consultancy service also we provide it to the master trainers or the aggregators. Say suppose agriinformn111 is an agency. Suppose TCS is there, Mindtree is there, Infosys is there. Okay, we have already advertised, and once when we shoot out our advertisements, any software startup or stand-up can take our application. The idea part, of course, even coding they can further do it, but we will not allow them to modify it. See, for example, TCS must have developed the SBI Yono app, but the SBI will not allow you to tamper with the app, and TCS cannot overrule the State Bank of India. Similarly, we don't want any startup in software to overrule our app for which it is made and envisaged, and we want them to be with us. So once when they agree with the conditions, we are ready to outsource it to any agency, provided they work on our principles. Thank you.
Okay. Now we have the last question. Please let us know a little about your background and how you got interested in agriculture.
Yeah, for example, you see, I am an 87% in my pre-university exam. I got an engineering seat in REC Surat, Gujarat, mechanical engineering, and then my father was a professor at IISc, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So somehow, in those days, a lot of drug addiction and all was there, and my father was afraid to send me to engineering. So I did not get engineering seat in Bangalore, so I joined BSc Agriculture in GKVK. I finished BSc Agriculture. Then afterwards, I worked 1 year in the Department of Agriculture, and then I did MSc Agriculture Extension, master's degree, and then later on I was a Grameen Bank manager. I was working in rural areas right here at Mandya, and then I was also in the Vijaya Bank at Pavgada, very near Hindupur. And then later on, I joined the prestigious Agriculture Research Service, which is equivalent to your IAS, IPS. I got a second rank in my 1990. I belong to the ARS 1990 batch and joined IAHR as the first institute. Because I had a second rank, they posted me at the Indian Institute of Horticulture Research. In those days, there was not many phones and mobile phones. And then we were only doing door-to-door extension, farm and home extension. Later on, I went to the prestigious Indian Agriculture Research Institute to do my PhD. And then at that time, I really saw some, in my PhD program, even about 35 years back, I had a 486 compact computer. So that's how I got interested into this. And then I came back in 2000 and I became directly senior scientist at the National Academy for Agriculture Research Management at Hyderabad. I was training the scientists, and it is here that I went into ICT. I went into multimedia authoring, and then content development, and mobile applications were not there so much. So that was quite a recent phenomenon. I became principal scientist or professor in the year 2008. And then I have an MBA also. So working a lot with the FPOs, the farmers and all that, it has sensitized me. So see, this is what the farmers want, hand-holding, but unfortunately not many people to fund it or not many people to venture it. I have already told you the urban bias, and then I have come back again, and that's how I went into this Arka Vyapar app. Of course, the whole workflow and structure was given by me and my colleagues, and then even I have been trained in MIT App Inventor. I can also develop an app, but this particular app, we have done it in Android Studio at the back end, and it runs on a MySQL database, and every time on a real time the database it authenticates and it updates. And also for the authentication, we have used the Firebase server which sits at Google. There you have to, the real time authentication, you have to pay some per click charge. That we are doing, and even with the Geo mobile applications, it authenticates the thing. So we have got multi-contact authentication in this particular app. And right now what the ICR is trying is not just information, okay, academia, industry, interface along with the ICT. That's why I have a latest project leveraging ICT and social media for augmenting farmers' problems. This is the problem I am currently working on. So my aim is to develop a end-to-end customized app with single click. The farmer should be able to get his price, his production, his GPS data, weather forecast, everything on a single app. Of course, it may take some more time, but the idea is there, and a lot of private players are also venturing, and we are going to outsource to them, and if they are interested.
Okay, that's very good to know. So you have a mixed knowledge.
No, I don't have deep knowledge. See, I am an agriculture guy converted into an ICT guy. See, I am not a software engineer, but I have passed the Coursera course in MIT App Inventor. I can develop some apps myself, and that's why I am the most sought after guy. And I'm not just boasting about myself, but my heart bleeds for all these destitutes and the so-called laggards of India, where the innovators and the urban whitefield oriented Mindtree fellows get all the facilities, and these poor farmers have to run some pillar posts to get their things authenticated and get them ICT or WhatsApp or social media serviced. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. That's very good to know. And okay, I don't see any more questions from participants. So now we have come to end of question round. Agricultureinformation.com likes to thank Dr. V.K. Raghavendra Rao for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions in depth. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
So thank you agriinformation.com for giving me this opportunity. Kindly do not mind that I was a bit emotional when I speak about the needs and aspirations of the farmers. It's all right. Even if they don't get it, they will still give you 333 million tons. They will still give you all the things which the urban people want. And it doesn't matter, somebody one day will try, or even they themselves will try, and the solutions will definitely come. Thank you very much.
Not at all, sir. We can understand your emotions. Thank you.
Okay, I leave the meeting.
Sure, we can. We'll close the meeting.
Yeah, thank you.